Hello, everybody. Hope you're all doing well this Thursday. I just wanted to chat a little bit about the strategic planning committee. They had their meeting today here at Leduc, and I went to it. Again, probably the only public at large, as always, because I'm a City of Leduc groupie, it seems. So I just wanted to mention it because I think it's really smart leverage to utilized where our municipality is planning to put our tax dollars. So where the tax dollars go, it's a good way to use leverage. And if you understand where the city is planning to use the tax dollars, then we can plan around that. So I know that the city of Leduc has been trying to do a push for commercial businesses and why businesses are coming to here. And one of the things that I actually did not know was that this is our Leduc videos. That is the way that they are trying to get our citizens to help engage with the residential community. One of the, well, I know I've thought about, have you guys even heard of that with the little pin drop and you take a picture and then you write your little story about why you do it? Why this spot? I know I've chatted with the kids about different areas that they could, that we wanted to. Most of the stuff that I've thought about was a little bit too personal to want to share. Growing up here on the city, walking the city streets and doing all those things. But yeah, I didn't realize that was one of the pushes for our, residential community and our citizens to do versus our business community. So I know that it's something that I am going to try to discuss and get some ideas and get the kids involved in, places that we've done or memories that they have as well. So another thing as well on that for our strategic plan was how much they have going for the west side of Leduc. So the growth is primarily going to be to the west, where they are going to have community gardens over on that west side as well as the Crystal Creek development. And I know that they are in discussions with getting a new high school. They have not picked a zone yet for where they want it, but I do know that they want to have that on the west side as they want to try to get all the county students to go there and versus the inner city high school, because that's what the comp's going to be now is inner city if they can try to get one on the west side. So again, this is just being smart leverage, because one of the biggest search engines when looking for schools or for new houses and where you're moving is schools. So I know on the Leduc Moms page, they have mothers asking, what do you think about this school, or what do they have for special needs for my children? And I think it's very important to notice that those are the questions that they ask. So where the new schools go would be a good place to have rentals, 3 or more bedrooms, 2 or more bedrooms. I know at the rain event, the rain meeting last week, they had a big search thing about, closest to grocery stores, closest to schools, closest to transits. Those were some of the things that people are searching for when looking for new homes. So keeping an eye out where that new high school is going to be is really going to be good, because you'll be able to get that leverage. Properties go off a basic law of supply and demand. So the more people that want that area, the higher your prices are going to be. Same thing with the LRT, the stops and the LRTs, right? Those properties increase at a higher rate than the other ones outstanding, because people want to be close to the travel zones. So, and then one of the things, did you know that Leduc Golf and Country Club has transferred their land to the city of Leduc? So I know I've had some chats with some people thinking that this Golf and Country Club was a sore spot for the city of Leduc because it's just prime development. But in actual fact, the city of Leduc wants to keep it that way. They're already doing multi-way around windrows to make that still all the walking path. And then I know at the city council meeting, they actually discussed having a winter festival, taking it with all the snow and lighting up the trees and doing a winter festival. So if that was their ideas, then it's not a sore spot. It's something that they're going to definitely market and leverage, as we wanted to a living city with the right connections, I believe was our slogan years ago. So they wanted to make sure that we were staying active, and those festivities is definitely one of them. And then one of the last things that I wanted to mention was the accessibility of the civic facilities and strengthening our neighborhood connections. So as of now, they're giving seniors free access during lull periods in the afternoon. And in actual fact, one of the things that it says is they're going to implement new youth wellness initiatives and access opportunities 0 to 17 for summer access during non-peak times. So I think that's great. Can get us out during, peak hours of the sun or when it's raining. Like it rained so much last year. So I know that's something that I would definitely utilize with my kids. I'd pay my entrance fee, obviously, and then get us out and still being able to socialize in the summer. And I didn't realize they were doing it for the youth. So I think that all the youth initiatives that they are doing, I think is fantastic as well. They've got youth council starting. So I think last month when I was talking, they were still looking for extra people to do youth council. I think max age was 22. So if you know any youths who would be interested in doing a youth council and getting their opinions heard, I think that that's fantastic. I will post up a link for that as well. We need to have, they're going to be living in this city for probably longer than us. So having their voices heard, I think, is fantastic. And then as well, they were talking about the block connectors, the city block parties. I did remember reading on Rant and Rave that it was really hard to get the permits for the block parties. Well, that was discussed today at this planning meeting. It was heard, and it's definitely going to be reviewed. So if you are trying to get in a block party and there is a little bit of red tape, just let them know. Contact your councilor members and your mayor. Let them know that there is some red tape because they want us to continue to have the community feel in these block parties. And I remember at the Todd Hirsch meeting he was in January at the chamber, one of the things that hi, how you doing? One of the things that he was talking about was the power of mental health and how it's going to be a major economic driver in the future with absences to work, costs of healthcare benefits and prescriptions. So the more we rely on social media to be our communication and our connection, the more we're going to be relying on mental health. So having these block parties is going to be key in getting us out and actually meeting our neighbor and keeping those connections. And they really want to keep that as a driver. So I think that is really cool. So if you have any red tape or that you've had red tape, please communicate with your councilor members because it was tabled today at the strategic planning. There was a few other things that were on here, but I'm going to bring them up separately. So the lean budgeting reserve, it's something that we have implemented as a fiscal planning, and it is what is keeping our property taxes lower. So I think that's pretty awesome. 0.27% is our property tax increase next year. So I'm going to talk about that next week. And then as well, there's a big push for arts and culture in our community, but I think that it has to go beyond arts. Culture is also lifestyle, and we are missing a large section of lifestyle, in my opinion. And I'm going to talk about those as well because those are hearty conversation. So if there is things, I'm going to attach a link to the strategic plan. So the strategic plan is what the management and city council use in developing what is our vibrant city. So if there is things that you want to see on our strategic plan that isn't there, don't hesitate to reach out. I even think Mayor Bob has his cell phone on his business cards. So don't hesitate to communicate with them. They're here to represent us. And I know for a fact they listen because when every meeting that I go to, they always say this is what, people are talking about, and they relay it to everybody. So, don't hesitate to go beyond, your keyboard and actually give them a call and let them know what you think. So thanks so much for your time. And I'll send up those links under here. Have a good day.